Good evening, all. This is Ashwin from Raghavi Engineering College. I'm studying BTech second year.
Good evening, everyone. I am Aditya from Raghu College, BTech second year.
Hi, Sriram here from Gramina Incubation and also part of the chat podcast. Thanks.
Good evening, all. I am a BBS first year student from Andhra University and AHAP intern.
Good evening all. Good evening all. Myself Tejasni. I'm BBA final year. I have intern.
Good evening everyone, I'm Martin. I used to intern with AHAP.
Good evening everyone, I am Hemant, BP final year at Andhra University.
Good evening everyone. Myself G. Deepika from Andhra University EC department.
Good evening everyone, I am Reshma, intern at AHAP.
Good evening everyone, myself Reshma. MBA first year from the School of International.
Good evening everyone, my name is Ajashi, first year mechanics. Good evening everyone, my name is Anil, I'm from mechanics. Good evening everyone, my name is Abu Bakar, I'm from first year mechanics. Good evening everyone. Myself Sahil. I'm a BBA first year student and an intern as an intern in AHAP. Good evening everyone. I am Director. I'm BBA first year student and intern in AHAP.
Good evening everyone. I'm KVA Varsha. I'm a student in AUSIB. I came here to learn about startups because I'm planning my own startup.
Good evening everyone, my name is Ria. I'm in BBA first year and I'm an intern in AHAP.
Good evening everyone, I'm Kushmita. I'm from Adarsh Degree College, Pembrokeshire. So I'm here to know about startups. Thank you.
Good morning. Good afternoon everyone. I'm B. Jennifer. I'm from Adarsh Degree College and I'm here for studying startup.
Thank you. I'm Aishwarya from Adarsh Degree College. I'm here to learn about startups.
Thank you everyone. Here are a few ground rules before we commence the meeting. Kindly switch your mobile phones to silent mode. We request that you refrain from entering or exiting the session while a speaker is delivering the presentation. Please wait until the speaker concludes the session. Please refrain from engaging in crosstalk or side conversations. Kindly note that the startup pitch is allotted a maximum of 10 minutes, followed by a 5-minute Q&A session. We kindly ask all presenters to adhere to the allocated time to ensure a smooth flow of the event. Also, the idea pitch is allotted a maximum of 10 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes to present and 3 to 4 minutes for Q&A session. We request that the audience members reserve the questions for designated Q&A time. With that, let us begin. With that, let us begin the startup starter session. Right now, we are going into the open mic session. This is an opportunity for all members of the audience to share their innovative ideas and thoughts. We welcome anyone with ideas to step forward and contribute to the discussion. However, I kindly remind everyone to maintain a respectful environment during this session. Let's ensure that those expressing their ideas feel supported and encouraged. Constructive feedback that fosters confidence and growth is greatly appreciated. Before we start the session, let us get to know the rules. Each person will get 1 minute to share an idea and 1 more minute for answering questions. 1 idea per person or a team. In case there is time left after a round of ideas, a second idea can be shared. In order to maintain an inclusive atmosphere, please avoid negative feedback. To be fair to everyone, time limits apply to all. Now I kindly, the stage is open now. If anybody have any ideas that they want to share, please come.
Any ideas?
So, good evening everyone. I'm KVA Varsha and I'm planning to open a marketing agency where we promote other brands. So, let's just say someone has a clothing brand that we have to promote. So, we take public places and with the less cost, with the minimum resources, we try to promote it. So let's just say the beach is a public place where everyone comes. One fine Sunday evening, we'll just go there and we'll just take the product and we'll conduct a modeling run with local models, you know. So when we do this 2-3 times, it will attract more people. When it attracts more people, the media will be interested in our business. So the media will advertise it for you. So not just that, I have many other promotion ideas for different types of products. This is just one of them. Thank you. That's my starting plan.
Tell us your name, etc. for company, phone number, etc.
I'm KVA Varsha. I did not start it yet, but I'm starting it very soon. I just came here with my friends as a session that I could understand and grasp more information.
Because these people would like to promote their brand, it seems. These people got already interested.
Yeah,
That's
thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll provide you my contact details
Sure, please.
at the end of the session, maybe.
Sure. Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Any questions?
If you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you so much.
He's interested.
Let me just bring on.
Any more ideas? Please remember that this space is free for all. You rarely get this opportunity. So try to utilize this and share your ideas here.
Mobile phones for university visa.
Isaac, can the 5 minutes of the time, 5-10 minutes?
Yes, sir. 20 minutes allotted for open mic.
Excuse me. Can we discuss after?
Sorry. No, it's okay. I'll talk later.
Isaac, Dr. Gopi Chandra.
Hello all. Yeah. So just this morning I was in campus meeting someone. Then went to Krishna College, and they're coming out with a program on millets related. And there was a related conversation between the students, faculty, administration. So essentially, it's a fill-up talk about the contemporary themes that are emerging, the changed model of the yester times to present times, and where the efforts of such programs as this and the new offerings by the members come into place. That I wanted to stress on that. దాని గురించి ఒక 10 years, 15 years బ్యాక్ మోడల్ తీసుకునేటట్టయితే స్కూలు, ఇంటర్మీడియట్, డిగ్రీ ఎంత చదివితే అంత చదివేస్తే మళ్ళీ తర్వాత వెళ్తే టచ్ పోతుంది పుస్తకం చదవడంలో, బ్యాచెస్ అంతా వెళ్ళిపోతారు. సో డిగ్రీ, పీజీ, పిహెచ్డి ఎంత చేస్తే చేసి ఆ తర్వాత గెట్ ఇన్ టు either job or business, whichever, continue. Career అయిపోయింది, తర్వాత చూడొచ్చు, రిటైర్ తర్వాత then do whatever. That was the model and a successfully proven model relatively. Urbanization, migrations, మిగతావన్నీ కూడా social issues, some ఇక్కడ కానీ శ్రీరామ్ కానీ they were handling. Now, compared to that, the present one is, అప్పట్లో చదివితే ఒక 10 years పాటు తర్వాత ఒక నెక్స్ట్ ఎడిషన్ వచ్చేది పుస్తకం, పబ్లికేషన్ నెక్స్ట్ ఎడిషన్. సో నాలెడ్జ్ చదివితే 10 years పాటు వ్యాలిడ్, అంతకుమించి తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు లేరు. సో ఇంకా ముందు తీసుకుంటే కాలేజీలో ఉన్నారనేటైతే యూనివర్సిటీలో ఎవరో మ్యాగజైన్ తీసుకొచ్చారు, జర్నల్ తీసుకొచ్చారంటే అది చదివిన వాళ్ళు మోస్ట్ అడ్వాన్స్డ్ పర్సన్ ఇన్ ద ఎంటైర్ సిటీ. సో నాలెడ్జ్ నోయింగ్ హ్యాస్ అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఎట్ ద టైం. సో గుర్తుండాలి, పుస్తకాలు దొరకవు, జర్నల్స్ దొరకవు, సో గుర్తుంటేనే వాల్యూ, డిగ్రీ అయితే వాల్యూ. దట్ వాస్ ట్రూలీ ద సినారియో. ఇప్పుడు చూసేటట్టయితే ఏ టాపిక్ ఏ ఆర్టికల్ మాట్లాడిన వెంటనే ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వస్తుంది. సో ఇప్పుడు మెమరీ కంటే కూడా అప్లికేషన్ ఓరియంటెడ్ ఇలాంటివన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు మోడల్లో చూసేటట్టయితే బికాస్ నాలెడ్జ్ అప్గ్రేడేషన్తో పాటు అవుట్డేటింగ్ స్కిల్స్ కూడా ఇలాంటివి అవుతున్నాయి కాబట్టి ఓకే మెంబర్ వచ్చేసినట్టున్నారు, విల్ గో కంప్లీట్ ఇన్ 1 minute. సో ప్రస్తుత మోడల్ది చూసేటట్టయితే ఎంత ఎర్లీ ఆర్ ఎట్ ఎనీ టైం వర్క్ ఆర్ బిజినెస్ along with some learning directly related or somewhat related or distant learning and networking. ఈ మూడు చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళడం అనేది అలవాటు ఎప్పటి నుంచి అవుతుందో అప్పటి నుంచి వాళ్ళ ఇంపాక్ట్, రిజల్ట్ గివింగ్ ఇవంతా పెరుగుతుంది. సో స్కూల్, కాలేజ్లో, ఇంటర్మీడియట్ ఆర్ డిగ్రీ ఉన్న టైంలోనే నేర్చుకుంటున్నారు సంథింగ్, దెన్ ఎక్కడైనా ఇలాంటి ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కానీ ఎక్కడైనా వాలంటీర్గా వచ్చి చేయడం, వర్క్, అసిస్టింగ్, నెట్వర్కింగ్ ఇలాంటివి వస్తూ ఇంకొకటి ఏదైనా చూసేటట్టయితే ఆ హ్యాబిట్ వస్తుంది, వర్క్ అండ్ లెర్న్, స్టడీ అండ్ ఆల్సో గెట్ ఇన్ టు నెట్వర్కింగ్. దాని గురించి విడిగా నెట్వర్కింగ్ మీటింగ్స్కి వెళ్ళక్కర్లేదు. సో ఈ మోడల్ ఉండేటట్టయితే పని చేస్తూ బిజినెస్ లైన్లో ఉంటూ టెక్నాలజీ వల్ల అవుట్డేట్ అయిపోవడం కానీ, లేదు పని చేస్తూ నాలెడ్జ్లో అవుట్డేట్ అయిపోవడం కానీ, దాంతోపాటు కౌంటరింగ్ ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఏదో ఒకటి నేర్చుకుంటున్నాము, నెట్వర్కింగ్ వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిన దాంట్లో ఎవరైనా సరే వాలంటీరింగ్ మిగతా చేస్తూ ఉన్నా సరే సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ వే యూజువల్లీ స్టార్టప్ ఇకోసిస్టమ్లో అయినా సరే రిలేటెడ్ ఫీల్డ్ కానీ ఇంకో టాపిక్, న్యూ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పాలసీ మీరు ఇప్పుడు చూసేటట్టయితే ఐ రికమెండ్ టు ఆల్ ద యంగర్ మెంబర్స్ పర్టికులర్లీ లుక్ ఇట్ ఇది. కోర్ యాక్టివిటీ అనే దాంతో పాటు వచ్చేవే మిగతావి ఒక 10-15 ఓకే అయిపోయింది అంటున్నారు. సో మిగతా అన్రిలేటెడ్, అపారెంట్ అన్రిలేటెడ్ దాంట్లో ఎంత ఎక్స్పోజర్ ఉంటే నాలెడ్జ్ మేబీ అప్లికబుల్ ఆర్ నాట్, బట్ లెర్నింగ్ అనేది కంటిన్యూస్ స్టిమ్యులేషన్ ఉంటుంది. దట్ విల్ బీ వాల్యూ. సమ్టైమ్స్ డాట్ గెట్ కనెక్టెడ్. సో ఇలాంటి ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ క్యాంపస్లో వచ్చేటట్టయితే మీకు ఇమీడియట్గా ఒక యూజ్ అవ్వచ్చు, లేదు కనెక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు, బట్ నెట్వర్కింగ్ ఇమీడియట్గా తెలుస్తుంది, హాయ్ హల్లో తెలుస్తుంది, క్యాంపస్లో జరుగుతున్న డిఫరెంట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ మెంబర్స్కి తెలుస్తాయి. సో there is a high relevance that maybe one of your friends may be interested. You may say to your friend, అరే అక్కడ ఏదో అవుతుంది వెళ్ళి చూడొచ్చు కదా అని. సో వర్క్ అవ్వచ్చు, నెట్వర్క్ ఉండొచ్చు, ఫ్రెండ్కి హెల్ప్ చేసినట్టు అవ్వచ్చు. సో రిలేటెడ్ డైరెక్ట్ బెనిఫిట్, అన్రిలేటెడ్ ద లెర్నింగ్ ఈజ్ స్టిమ్యులేటెడ్. సో ఈ చేంజ్డ్ మోడల్లోని ఎంత అలవాటు అవుతుందో పని చేసుకుంటూ ఇంకో ఏదో ఆర్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామో ఒక థియేటర్ డ్రామా ఏదో చూసాము అండ్ పరిచయం అయ్యారు. ఇంకొకరు ఎవరు అన్నారు, ఆంధ్ర యూనివర్సిటీ రిజిస్ట్రార్ గారే సమ్టైమ్స్ హీ వాస్ బ్యాక్ ఇన్ ఈవెన్ క్యాంపస్ అలమ్ని మీటింగ్లోని, యువర్ నెట్వర్క్ ఈజ్ యువర్ నెట్వర్క్. సో ఇమాజిన్ సమ్మన్ విత్ లైఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ సేయింగ్ దట్. సో అండ్ దీస్ ఆర్ ది ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ వేర్ యూ కెన్ కీప్ యువర్ నెట్వర్క్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్, బీ యాక్టివ్ అండ్ బీ lively. And it's as much working as we do, మన వర్క్ కూడా. సో అప్రిషియేటింగ్ ద మెంబర్స్ వచ్చినారు. విల్ గో ఇన్ టు ద ప్రోగ్రామ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
As we discussed, 20 minutes will be allotted for the open mic. There's still time. If anybody has any ideas, I'd like to welcome them. we'll continue with the schedule. Okay, then without further ado, let me introduce one of the speakers for the day. Ms. P. Shalini is the founder and managing trustee of Waste Connect, a non-profit organization that works on waste management and recycling. She is a passionate advocate for sustainability and environmental protection. She has over 10 years of experience in the waste management sector and has worked on a variety of projects, including developing and implementing waste management plans for municipalities, businesses, and households. Let's welcome Ms. P. Shalini with a round of applause.
Good evening, all of you.
Good evening.
So, all entrepreneurs over here. Everyone has their own startups. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Just put up your hands. Whoever has a startup right now. Okay. Right. So remaining are aspiring entrepreneurs. So very soon even your hands will be up. No doubt about it. So whoever has actually coming straight, if not coming straight to the point of prototyping, I'll just like to hear from many of you. Like whoever has been whoever has come up with a startup or whoever is going to come up with a startup, what actually made you be an entrepreneur rather than being a jobber? I'd like to hear from you guys.
Money.
Financial freedom.
Very good.
Problem statement. Problem statement with Epic.
Correct. This is work freedom. Yes, work freedom. Point one. Point two is whatever is the innovation that you would like to get. That's one thing. Financial freedom is something which you can actually attain through a very very comfortable job. But then it's not just financial freedom that entrepreneurs aspire for. How many of you agree with me? It's not just money that makes an individual entrepreneur, not just a job.
I don't want to work on a basis of a contract. I
Correct.
just want to work when there's remotely. Whenever
Okay.
I want to work, I will work. Whenever I
Right.
don't
So you prefer being a freelance, you prefer being a consultant, right?
something like that.
Yes, very good. So anyways, when you identify what you are good at, that is when you actually think of being an individual, right? So that actually makes you an entrepreneur. Coming to the next step, if you are an entrepreneur, you have to have a particular model, a prototype, or a thing which you want to invent, and a particular product which you would like to share out of your own, which you have created out of your own imagination, out of your own groundwork, background, whatever research, R&D that you have done. So that is what you would like to share with the world. Okay, this is my idea. This is the product I'd like to build, or this is the service I'd like to provide to my fellow beings. And this is the idea I have. And so that's how your startup comes up, right? So now coming to prototyping. So who all have already had a prototype over here? Or a sample, if not a technical language, just a sample of the product or a sample of the service that you are going to present as an entrepreneur. You have it? We'd like to hear more about it. Yep.
Yes, service based.
You can share the mic.
We are a service-based company, and we offer business solutions. We tailor fit solutions for every business, and what we do is we have a particular we identify very 10 minute things from a business, and we provide service to them. The 10 things I can't disclose here
That's
because
okay.
it's my.
You are very clear with what you want to provide,
Yeah.
okay, which is not existing right now, right? That is where we actually become startups, not than just businesses. A startup is nothing but who has a very innovative idea, something which is not existing, or something which is an addition to something which is already existing. That is where the role of an entrepreneur and the presence of a startup comes. Are you all guys with me?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. I want a bigger yes. There's actually a lot of energy. Yeah, right. Okay. So now, no, I think I'm comfortable here. Okay. Now, okay, he has shared a particular service. I have seen a couple of other hands also, startups who have a product or a service. There was one more hand coming up. You, right?
Hi everyone, I'm Praful. Basically, I'm from a HR background. I'm a HR turned entrepreneur. And the problem statement which I picked is from when I was working as a HR for a product-based clients. I happened to interview for the freshers. And that's where I found a couple of problem statements. And back then in 2013, I'm not aware how to solve that issue. And it took me almost like a decade to understand the real root cause of it. And in the main process, I have I have done several experiments, and I have got little successes, but I didn't stay with that because those successes, if I'm happy, I would be as a service-based guy, and I don't want to be a service-based from the start itself. So I want to build a product, and now the current phase which I'm currently is MVP, and this MVP also I am handpicking the students. And it's a very basic version of it. And going forward with in one liner, if you want to understand what I do is I help first year undergraduate students find a purposeful career before their academics. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Prabhu. So you guys are able to understand that people are clear with what is the extraordinary thing or what's the most uncommon thing that is not existing, and that is how they have come up with a business proposition saying that this is what we are coming up with and this is how it is different, and this is going to be these are going to be the benefits that people or the selected section of people are going to be benefited. Okay, so same applies with this product as well. You might be whoever is aspiring to make very distinct products or distinct services or distinct inventions. Okay, so you might be having an idea in your mind, but then while you are putting your idea into a form, okay, into a physical form. Okay, ideation is nothing but when you are actually thinking, you are brainstorming, you are doing a lot of research on it, you are making a lot of sketches on it, you are making, like whoever are in AutoCAD, they just keep drawing things about the model that you have you want to do, and then again you make a lot of iterations, you take a lot of feedback, and then again you make a sort of a sample product. So now coming to the sample product is what is called the prototype. And in this prototype, the first most important thing which I would like to share from my experience is validating the prototype. To giving your idea a form is anyways a prototype, but then bringing it into existence is the challenge. Till the time it is in your mind, okay, it is very comfortable, it's very colorful, it's very aspiring, it's very, it gives you big dreams. But then when you start making it, then comes the real fun. Okay, you'll find questions like, Arey, what are you doing? Do you think anybody is going to use this? You get questions like that. Right? Anybody who has faced that? Somebody is smiling, so they have faced it actually. Okay? And there are some, parents and elders or well-wishers of us saying, why are you wasting your time on this? Do you think you're going to earn from it? These are also the very common questions, right? Okay. That is where you have to be very patient and stick to what you are actually intending to do. If you are very keen on what you want to give to the world, if your invention, if your product is going to be very extraordinary. So please stick to these, and please don't get pulled back by all these sort of negative comments or people who are actually your well-wishers, who don't want you to suffer, who don't want you to spend so much of your hard-earned money. And I mean, definitely they want a good future. They want to see you in a very bright future, but then they actually don't know where you want to stand as compared to the aspirations that they have. Any thoughts to be exchanged on this? On whatever we have talked, whatever we have discussed just now? Any other typical questions that your well-wishers, your friends or your neighbors or anybody who would like to, who have commented something and for which you were actually taken aback or you felt a little bit disappointed or pulled back sort of a feeling? Anybody? No one?
Why quit your job when you could do something better? Why are you doing something different? Why do you want to quit a job?
Yes. Why? What is actually making you quit the job, or why? What is that is making you leave all the comfortable money-making fields, and then what is that? What do you call that in thing which is actually driving you? So that is something which you need to keep intact. Okay, put aside all the all the negative vibes that you are getting. Just put them aside. The only thing is your drive. The drive, how much ever stronger it is, the better it is for you as an entrepreneur. Okay, let me share one of my experiences. Collection D, that was my first startup, which was incubated at Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. IIM Bangalore. That was way back 2018. It was a women's startup program. So my startup was, the name of the startup is Collection D, and my product was personalized gifts. Okay, so what's your idea, guys, about personalized gifts? Those cups and cushions and all that stuff, right? Anything more? Photo pics. What more? Yes, keychains.
It's about putting the person's interests together and making it into a gift.
Correct. This is what I had come up with. So my product was 1% product. Okay. If you want to gift something to your friend, I talk to you about your friend, take her interest, what her likes and dislikes are, and then I design a gift and I make a product out of it. So that was actually a 1% product. And when on the jury, I was asked, the IIM standard, the mentors and the jury, how they assess. So the whole life you are going to make just one product for one person. Huh? How are you going to earn? How big do you think, how much money do you think you are going to make out of it? If you take, let's say, 1 week to make a product and hardly you are left with some 5,000-10,000 rupees. So is that enough for you? Okay, so these are the type of questions that we might have to face, in spite of we being very sure that our product is really an exclusive product. Okay, so let me also share the answer that I had. I was taken aback by that question, because at that point of time I didn't have an answer, but then I helped myself find an answer that, okay, if I am just able to design one gift for 1 week, maybe I'll be increasing my team so that we are multiples and we'll be having franchisees. We are just available on a phone call, and that's how we are going to develop. And it's not that we are just going to earn only on 1 gift a week. We are going to make multiple gifts in a day, and that's how we are going to scale up. Okay, it was a fairly satisfactory answer. But then definitely we have to show how we are going to. So there comes the next story of marketing, etc. So, social media marketing and all the other stuff. Now, everybody who are aspiring to make a product, so you're clear with your idea, you're clear with making a sample. Now comes the investing part. Investing your little bit of savings that you have and lot of the time that you have, right? So how wisely are you going to spend that? Any idea? I mean, in case you have an idea in hand, you have a little bit of savings in your hand, you would like to invest in that product that you're going to come up with. So, what are your what would you be doing? Anyone who are right now not yet having a startup can also answer.
You would find an investor, or we will see how someone who can help us with our idea. We'll see for someone who can help us with our idea.
Help in what way?
In a financial way.
Okay.
To make to develop our business, and then we share our profits with them.
Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. So now that you are clear with your idea, when you are clear with executing your idea, giving it a form, what is the next that you actually look for?
We will look for how stickiness the product have.
How?
Stickiness.
Okay.
And how many times the user is coming back to use it.
That is when the product is already made, when it is
No,
validated and all this. It's once into the market. I'm talking about initial. You just have an idea which is all in your mind. You are just now putting it into execution. You're just giving your form an idea, a form to your idea.
To whom I'm giving?
No, you are having an idea in your mind.
Agree.
And you are actually giving it a form. If it is a product, you are making a sample.
Whom? Am I giving to the customers? Am I giving to the people to brainstorm?
No, you are just giving it to yourself to show people. It's the next step.
Okay.
Maybe draw.
Come again?
Make a paper more.
Yes.
Draw
Yes.
pen and paper.
Yes. Okay. So here, from my little experience that I have in manufacturing gifts and designing gifts, what I have done is I have hired the best people. Because I just had an idea, but how to execute it, how to give it a shape, I didn't have very much of experience. Okay? So what I did is I hired the best people. And I hired people from Indian Institute of Craft and Design, Jaipur. I went all the way to Jaipur just to see how things are designed and how the design things are executed. Of course, okay, loving to travel, loving to see places, that's putting that story aside, but then definitely I was serious that I have to get in touch with the best designers and the best makers, craft makers in India, and that's how I landed up there. So finally, I could hire some interns, because being a startup, we have very less funds, because that is the most stringent part of every startup, of every entrepreneur. So I had hired interns, and yeah, I could make some products. Make some very exclusive products, like literally talking to people, sharing their ideas. I mean, there was a couple each of them, they wanted to give some exclusive gifts to each other on their first wedding anniversary without each of them knowing. So we had, we were very interestingly working with each other, taking their appointments, taking their interests, and without knowing each other, and the husband and wife without knowing each other. So these were very good challenges that we have in our journey. These are very nice experiences that we have. So finally, we worked out products. We had the customers well satisfied. So finally, what we had done is, we were actually not checking on the cost that we were incurring. Okay, the only thing in our mind that was happening at that time is the customer has to accept our product. Because once you are coming up with a product, that is your first thing that you have to have is, customer has to accept my product. Okay, because if customer doesn't accept our product, why are we doing all this waste? Why are we spending all this time? Why are we spending all this money? Why are we actually taking so much of pains to execute? Okay, so investment is something which we have to wisely invest. Let it be on time, let it be on the right person, let it be on the right tool, let it be on the right equipment. Suppose someone who wants to develop an AI tool or something in software, what they first needs to have is the right laptop or the right equipment. Let it be lakhs and lakhs of configuration. So fine, that is what they have to invest. And not only that, in case they even procure, because of a little bit of extra money that they have, they procure. But then in case they don't have the right person to operate, that is also a drawback. So having the right people, having the right tool is very, very important while making a prototype. At the same time, while investing this, the money factor has to be also checked upon. Just because you have lots of savings and you are very passionate on investing on your particular idea, that doesn't mean that you have to spend all of it on to this particular prototype. Please be very vigilant on whatever you are making. Of course, spend, but spend wisely. Spend thriftily and also wisely. Yeah. Now this is something which is already spoken about by Praful. He was saying that, okay, whom are we going to show? So now that your prototype is ready, now comes the audience. Whom are you making the product for? Get the right audience. Somebody, in our cohort, they were actually talking about weaving exclusive sarees for a set of community. And they were talking about getting it weaved either in Ikkat or Uppada, where they have the real good handloom weavers. And they wanted to make some exclusive sarees for only a particular community on a particular event. So, people were actually ready to spend. There was a customer who was ready to spend, who wanted to make that particular event very exclusive, and they had given them the fund. But then, for testing the type of the sari or type of the fabric they have made, they went and asked the richest, someone like Tina Ambani. Does ever Tina Ambani, have any of you ever seen Tina Ambani wearing saris, and that to a handloom sari, Ikkat type handloom sari? No, right? No. She might be rich, she might be affording this entire project, but then does she actually use it? No, right? So whomever you're presenting the prototype for assessment, you have to actually rightly choose the customer. Whom are you making the product for? It's that category of customer base that you need to test with. Do your homework, Google it. Social media is very helpful in these aspects. So try all the ways and means that you have, and get the right customer to validate your particular product, the prototype. And while they are validating, be very open-minded to take up all the types of feedbacks. Let it be negative, let it be positive, let it be suggestions, let it be add-ons. At times it might hurt you that, oh my god, so much of, I have considered so many factors while designing this product. Oh my god, why don't they understand that this is what I have done? So you must be having so many such type of hard feelings. But then you have to have a very open mind to take in all types of feedback. People will talk about, okay, every time how much it costs. People are, oh my god, why is it so expensive? We are getting very nice substitutes in the market. They don't understand that this product is made only for them. And that is the reason why it is costing so much. All the manas, all the raw material exclusively procured for that one product. It's not that these raw materials can be used for another product.
Customization.
It's customization, right? So when it's customized, definitely the customer is the point of interest. So one thing to be made sure is people should work on it only when people are ready to pay for it. End of the day, you are satisfied that, oh my god, I have made the best product. You personally are very happy and you feel that, okay, my product is being appreciated. But when they are not ready to pay the cost that you have borne, forget about all the efforts and all the night workouts that you have done. Forget about your energy. Forget about all your emotions. You must have had sleepless nights. You didn't have food in time. But still you have made the product and you have delivered. But then they are not ready to pay the exact price. So that's something which is very, very important, because until and unless you earn from it, you will not be encouraged yourself. To to some extent, you'll be, I mean, because of the passion, because of the fire in you, you'll be driving. But at the same time, there comes a point when you're not earning from it, you start stepping back. You start thinking, what am I doing? End of the day, it's money that matters, right? Money does matter. I agree with you that financial freedom is thing, but there are some other things also. Okay. Start thinking commercially. Once the product is out, start thinking commercially. It has to fetch you big money because your product is exclusive and it doesn't exist. Any guys, I mean, any experiences?
So actually, your product that you made is actually relating to the difference between a Honda and a Lamborghini. A Lamborghini is customized for the best interest of the customer.
Correct.
Whereas a Honda is available in the showroom with whatever
Right,
features you
right.
like and you buy. That's why the Lamborghini costs more than a Honda.
Exactly.
We also need to understand there is something, does the market is really ready for that? How many orders will be coming for that kind of a customization is what the differentiation is all about.
That comes with the right marketing.
No, it's not about marketing, it's about the founder taking a risk, like how much you want to spread this as a
You have already done that groundwork.
Yeah,
I mean, if you have come up with a product, you have already done that groundwork, right?
I mean,
It is a requirement, that is why you have come up with. That is how you have made the sample. So we are actually talking about the next step.
requirement having for 10 people and 100 people is one type.
Yeah.
Requirement having for lakhs and millions, like risk component, like whether to invest in time and resources and other stuff. That's how.
And yeah, now that your product is out, you are being validated. Okay, you are given the right value. People are actually ready to shell down the money that they have to for procuring a product. Then, what next? Come again?
Scaling.
Very good.
What's that?
You have been through the journey, I guess.
I just know the basics.
You know the basics. Okay, good. Okay, fine. Now, once the product is out, once people are accepting the product, then comes scaling, and that is when you actually have to work on numbers. From all the experience that you have had all these days, from the feedbacks, from hiring the right people, from procuring the right machinery, you must have gone through quite a number of exercises where you can cut down the costs, the unnecessary costs, the unnecessary overheads that might be required to be avoided or completely, totally eliminated. So this is the time when you actually have to think on those lines. Okay, to make this, I don't think I need this particular raw material, or I don't need that particular person, or I don't need this particular machinery. So that is when you actually start cutting down all the expenditures and then coming up with a proper business model, a proper business plan which will be scalable. Everyone agree with me? How does this journey look like of making a prototype? Challenging? Easy? Tough? Come, I need to listen to. Anyone else? How does prototyping look like? Simple, easy, difficult, very difficult, oh my god type. What is the expression you have?
It's very confusing.
Confused. Very good. Big round of applause. Let me know your name. You have been very active. Varsha. Varsha knows that it's very confusing, right? Yes, it is. Till the time it was in your mind, it was only your mind. It was only your brainchild. Once it has come into form, people are able to see and people are adding their opinion. Okay, people are giving inputs, giving suggestions. Okay, that is when you actually think that, oh my god, why didn't I look into this particular point of view? Why didn't I see this? Okay, then again you start back, making your calculations, making your design changes, making your iterations. It's actually confusing, but then it's a lot of learning. It actually makes you a very streamlined person, a very clear in thought person, and you are very clear with your own personal self. Like once you start making a product, you tend to streamline your own personality. Your process of thinking is influenced by when you are making a product. When you are getting so much of feedback for your product, you are actually you are getting a feedback for yourself, because your product is nothing but it's your identity. It is your thought process. That is how you get in touch with yourself. You check yourself and you add on what all is lacking in yourself so that gets reflected in your product. So it was actually nice talking to you all, very aspiring entrepreneurs, and let's see how early you are all coming up with a startup, and how early you are coming up with a very interesting, very different product, and see you all there in the startup club. Anybody wants to like to know more? Any questions?
I want to know about how you, from plan to prototype, how you transform the plan.
From plan to prototype?
How you computed that plan and prototype?
How did you transition
plan
from idea to prototype?
Okay, from planning to prototype. Okay. First thing, like when you are actually thinking of making a product, you have to identify what is required. Okay, that's nothing but identifying a pain point. A pain point is nothing but, if at all there is a requirement, if at all there is a gap to be filled, if at all there is a small service that needs to be catered at a particular place where there is no availability, that is what you identify. That is the spark in you. So once you are very clear that this is the problem which has not been attended yet, so that is something which you have to do, is what gets into your mind, and that is called the seed. That is the one spark that has kindled the entrepreneur in you, and that has actually started giving shape to what you want to do to solve that particular problem or to manufacture that particular product. Okay, so now that you are clear with what you want to do, you start making a plan. Okay, you start making a drawing, or you making charts, you making bullet points, you make a flow chart, and there are so many other things that you would like to add to it. So these are all the things that you would be actually making a note of. This is first I have to do this. First, then I have to do this. Okay, I'll share one of my experiences. Okay, my recently whatever my incubated startup at right now at Indian Institute of Management, Bharat Butler sir being one of my mentors. So my organization Waste Connect. So this is where the Waste Connect organization was actually took birth from ScrapSave. ScrapSave was my hobby, a hobby which actually makes products, functional and lifestyle products out of waste. I have jeans taken up, I have old jeans, torn jeans, and I have cut them into pieces and shapes, and I have groomed them well, and I made earrings out of it. Okay, so that's when my collection was being popular and people wanted it, people were ordering it. And there was a time when I was exhausted with the stock that I had. Okay, so that's when the stock which I have already had, which I have done from my own collection, from my own resources, when that started exhausting, so that's when the thought of Waste Connect came into my mind. Said, okay, they might be having, I can actually make this, I can start collecting old jeans and old anything, and old clothes from other people also. So we have become Waste Connect. Waste Connect in the sense we actually collect the waste and we deliver it to recyclers. One of the recycling is my own company, which is ScrapSave. Okay, so where did the thought come from? The thought came from one particular product, and then came the requirement of procuring, of making more products or scaling it up, and then came the necessity of establishing another startup which is actually into the activity of collecting. Okay, so from idea to execution, this has been the journey. Did I answer your question? Are you sure? Hello, sir. Any more? Yeah.
So I'm asking this year as a student. So you are saying that you are an IIM Bangalore student. How did you find the time to support both college and the work?
No, I am incubated there. My startup is incubated there. I'm not a student there.
So you did not plan it as a student? I mean,
No,
No,
like-
she didn't start it with the, when she was
Yeah, it's with the venture. I mean, my startup is incubated there. We attend classes, we get mentored, we have
It's like
presentations on which we are
NSR
assisted.
cell is there at IIM, so she got incubated there.
So how do you think, can you give any tips for the students who are willing to start any business?
That's what. For any student, it's not just student, it's anybody, you know. Anybody, the only thing what you have to think, what you have to do is you just look out around you. Sit down, no? Yeah. You just have to identify what is missing where. You know, like let's say there is something called this, chocolate makers. You know, I have one of my colleague who is making very tasty, delicious chocolates, and they are really tasty. Okay, and she was actually finding problem how to deliver them or how to pack them so that they actually add value to the product inside. So that itself is a startup. Packaging products. Somebody is into manufacturing. You identify very customer friendly, customer appealing packaging system and very user friendly, and not only user friendly, very environment friendly, because that package, if it is thrown away, it is not doing any damage to the environment. So that is what is your invention. You just have to identify.
I'm just asking, how can we manage the time?
It's all depending on you. How do you manage your time when you have exams? You sit up late in the night, right? You get up early in the morning. It's all depends on you. Once you have the fire in you, that time comes automatically. Trust me. Yeah. Any more questions? Yep. Please. Yeah. I have two of them.
And what are the problems are you faced in your entrepreneurship journey, and how do you overcome them?
Yes. Very good. Yeah. Entrepreneurial journey. Okay. First thing is people paying for my product. My first collection day products, they were actually overpriced, and people were not ready to pay for it because they were getting real good alternatives in the market. But where I could stand apart is my product was exclusively made for them. If it is costing a 10,000 rupees, yes, it costs 10,000 rupees. If you are getting something out in the market at 5,000 rupees, it is not made only for you. But what I am making is only for you. And if you are ready to pay for that exclusive prices, then only please make an order. Because we are designing, everything is customized as per how you want it. Okay, let's say, come up with one of the gifts which you would like to give, maybe your favorite person. Okay, I think we'll take her question and then. Yeah. Fast. Yeah.
So you said that you took a old jeans and you cut it in
Yes,
pieces
yes.
and you made a product
Hmm,
using
hmm,
them.
hmm.
Instead of doing all that, you could thrift the clothes. No, now you have fast fashion and all, so you could, without zero investment and without cutting the pieces, it's even recycling also. No?
Okay.
Thrifting the clothes.
Okay, I'll come to the point. What you're talking is already existing. How am I different?
But your product is also existing.
No.
Recycling product is also existing.
Recycling products are existing, but what I have made is new to the market. Okay? You actually have to identify something which is not existing. That is when you become a startup. Or else you are just another business person. You are just eating the part of the cake which somebody has also shared. If it is your exclusive product, that is when you are standing out, and that is when you become a startup, not just a business. All startups are businesses, but all businesses are not startups. Yeah, this is the question you had. We are done. Thank you so much for listening to me patiently. And nice talking to you.
Thank you, Ms. Shalini for that enlightening session on prototyping and its challenges. Let's get into the fun part. So Srinivas sir here will be taking for an interactive session on the
Alright, we're going to get started with a quick problem solving part. I have a set of 5 problems that we're going to just show you, and I'd like to see if any one of them is of interest to you. If it is, then we'll go from there. The 5 that I've identified are those, they fall into those categories. Either customer loyalty is with a restaurant, by the way, food business, e-commerce, and what tech stack? Basically tech stack, remote cell coverage, very quick healthcare for all. Just let me know if by looking at them, one of those areas or one of those parts is of interest to you. Remote cell coverage ante? I'll tell you, or rather, okay, remote cell coverage ante cell coverage in remote areas. I was just abbreviating and it was trying to, I was going fast with it, so excuse me. So what I'll tell you is, so I'll actually explain each of them because they're just very quick one sentence problems. The first one in terms of e-commerce is, how do you make e-commerce work in rural areas? How do you make e-commerce work in rural areas? Right? The second one in terms of customer loyalty is, if you are anywhere in Vizag or anywhere in India right now, I guess, but definitely in Vizag, there's you walk 10 feet and there's a food place there. Apparently we can't live without food, and so we have almost literally every 10-20 feet there seems to be a place for food. Now with the number of new ones that are coming up, and thanks to the liberal system that we have, you can set up a shop anywhere in Vizag because we are a very free country. I don't want to go more into that and get into politics, but that's something that is available. So in that kind of a cutthroat competition where you have hundreds of restaurants, food business, how do you maintain customer loyalty? Because without customer loyalty, you're basically waiting for customers, new customers to come and buy your food, and therefore it is going to be a challenge. Most of you are aware in Vizag, if you start something, a new business, one of the first things is the first 1 month you have fantastic business.
Right.
After that 1 month, suddenly nobody comes and you're wondering what happened. You think that you've conquered the world and then you realize that that's not true. So what do you do? Right? So loyalty related to that. Tech stack, anybody starting an IT company or anybody starting any company where you're planning to use IT as your core area, what is the tech stack that you're going to build? Use to build whatever product or whatever service that you're delivering. Keeping in mind that every 6 months or so, there's a new technology that is, and maybe it's going to replace it faster, there's a new technology that's going to come which is faster, better or cheaper, or sometimes a mix of all of them. Right? The fourth one is, if you go to, I don't know how many of you, a recent incident that happened, Araku, Paderu, Anantagiri, Bora Caves,
You go there and you say, okay, I'm going to have a good time. One of the first things that happens as soon as you cross Escota is, unless you have a Reliance or BSNL phone, you have zero signal. Zero signal. Maybe once you reach Araku, you'll have a signal. Otherwise, that's it. Now, how do you overcome situations like that without having to change your cell service provider? Okay. The last one is, as every one of us knows, the cost of healthcare is rising and will keep rising. And there are many factors for that. I will explain that to anybody who is not aware but wants to solve that problem. But how do you make healthcare affordable, available, convenient, and also good quality? Why do we go to a private hospital instead of a public hospital, a government hospital? Everybody knows the answer to that. So, how do you make it affordable? These are 5 problem sets that are available. Here's what I'm thinking about so that you don't need to worry, because I see a lot of worried faces. So, one of the things that we're going to do is, if you identify with the first one, e-commerce, you will be forming a group with other people who identify with that, and you are going to come up with solutions related to that particular problem. And the same with the second, third, fourth, and fifth. Clear? So rather than dividing you and assigning an automatic topic to you, I am actually giving you a choice and saying this is something that you can pick and choose from. Yeah.
So, starting with the e-commerce, see, how do you understand the...
You didn't get the point. Please have a seat for a second and then tell you. I don't want you to give me a solution right away. Right? You might have some idea. I don't want you to give me a solution right away, because one of the things you need to understand as somebody trying to start a business, if you haven't started one already, or any organization, is you need to work in a team. Right? There are what are called as one-person companies, OPCs. OPCs work fine as long as you have something that you want to have total control on, and you're not really doing anything new. But beyond a certain point of time, you have to have a team and you have to work with them. Even somebody whom you hire, when you hire them, if they don't believe you and believe your idea, they're not going to join you and they're not going to stay with you. So the idea here is, as a group, you are going to share your thoughts with other people who have some other thoughts, and together you're going to say, this is my solution for this particular problem. Am I clear? That's that. Okay. I don't mean to be rude. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just trying to make sure everybody understands. Clear? Okay. Any choices? This doesn't work this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to everybody and ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? And we'll call.
Now or later?
We'll do the groups now. There's no later. We have only 15 minutes left. So we'll start with Stallinger. Which one? 2. Okay. 4. 2.
Me. Character 2. Only one.
Can't be 2 teams at the same time.
Loyalty as well as tech stack both. That's what I'm thinking. Tech stack. Okay.
Okay. I'll.
5.
1. 2. 5. 2. 5.
Okay, I'm going to stop here because I think now I realize everybody knows what they want. So I'm going to do this. Whoever has picked 1, right? 1 can come here. Whoever has picked 2 can go right into the back over there. Whoever has picked 3 can be here. Or rather, 3 can be there in the middle. 4 over here and 5 in that corner.
Correct. 5 here.
5 over there.
Who is into tech? Yes. 3, 4, 2. There. Okay, fine. Yeah. 3. You're 3. Coming. Any base idea regarding
like మన బేసిక్ రిమోట్ రేంజ్ లో మొబైల్ నెట్వర్క్ ఉంటుంది డెవలప్మెంట్ అక్కడ మొబైల్ ఉంటుంది ఆ మొబైల్ నెట్వర్క్ మనం వాళ్ళకి ఎలా
all of you like they started and these people you're going to you should join them because they're only
it's okay me is 4 అయితే అక్కడ 4 అయితే
so all of you are going to kind of either stand or sit, but you're going to talk and share your thoughts on how you're going to solve the problem. And you're going to make a list. And I have your attention, team 1. Team 1. So 1 second. So what I'd like you to do is after you make a list, I want one of you from this team to come here and say these are the ways that we want to solve this. Right? That's all you need to do. Am I clear? Clear then yes.
Nice.
Take one person from your team, Sriram.
One line. One line.
Sriram, one person from your team comes and presents.
What is tech stack? What do you understand about tech stack?
So first thing is that
పేర్లు కూడా చెప్పండి ఏం టైప్ వాడతారు అన్నారు అవి కూడా పేర్లు చెప్పండి అవి క్లారిటీ విల్ బిగిన్
Drones మారుతుంది just tech stack one line.
First thing is that there are two different concepts about that. Imagine that you have started a business and you need to have Imagine that you have started, you have crossed Escoda and say 8:30
Tech stack అంటే
what's the first thing when you are aware?
సో మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ లో ఏంటనుకుంటారు
What will you do
చెప్పండి
to the clustering inform the
Clustering to
client
technology
what I
work.
was communication.
Yes, exactly. ఆ పైథాన్ చెప్తారు సో పైథాన్తో పాటు ఇంకేం ఉంటాయి
Now, second of all, cannot get the signal of today, tomorrow, it is governments decide the rest.
టూల్స్ కాదు మళ్ళీ ఈ మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ అనేటప్పుడు మీరు అవుట్పుట్ ఏం చేస్తున్నారు ఓన్లీ ఇప్పుడు పైథాన్ ఎలా చెప్పారో అలా పైథాన్ రిలేటెడ్గా ఇంకేమైనా మీరు లాంగ్వేజెస్ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చా లేకపోతే ఇంకేమైనా కాంపోనెంట్స్ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చా లైబ్రరీస్ కానీ సో అలా ఇది ఇవి ఇంపార్టెంట్ టెక్నాలజీ స్టార్ట్అప్స్ తెలుసు
is Latin also tech stack and word what it means
Managing the business orders.
stack and దానికి any relevance phrase because it's important what to stack is going to be
Focus on the how do you manage that?
stack and tech
Vehicle might or might not. Challenge is you try to getting the vehicle
ఓకే
tech stack and phrase ఇచ్చారు అందులో ఏంటంటే
any signals on there
So we'll be getting on the even we have like dish Sunday.
Use the local people.
Like normally they have these panels.
I'll tell you. So generally stack is nothing but different, as you mentioned, like input and output is fixed. The point is input endless now. That is called front end. Then comes the back end. It has calling so back end of technology. After server which is AWS server, so I mean not bank but still the cloud is our so like three connect that's called technology.
Stack is generally
I would feel that I'm learning something.
Each one doing something. Only correct seven of us. So text government DPS bank accounts then
He's asking you
దీంట్లో హార్డ్వేర్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ బోర్డు ఉన్నాయి దాంట్లో చాలా ఉంది దాన్ని మెయింటైన్ స్టాక్ ఫామ్ అయింది కాబట్టి ఇప్పుడు దాని మీద ఓపెన్ ఇంపోర్ట్ చేయగలిగాం దట్ వీఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు సెల్ ఈవెన్ వన్స్ ఛాంపియన్ స్టాక్స్ నాట్ ఇండివిజువల్ చాలా మంది బట్ ఈ అలైన్మెంట్ లో చేసి మనం చేసిన లార్జ్ డేటాబేస్ అయింది కాబట్టి టెక్నాలజీతో అప్డేటింగ్
Time's up. You have 1 minute to wrap up. So anyone who wants to make notes, identify your leader or representative.
Use the communication
technology can do it. But as a client, మీరు అవన్నీ పట్టించుకోవాలి for education. దాని ఏదో ప్రోడక్ట్ ఇవ్వడానికి దానికి సంబంధించిన మిగతా విషయాలు ఏమున్నాయో వాటి గురించి మీరు స్పెసిఫిక్ ఫోకస్ తీసుకున్నారు. యూఆర్ నాట్ టూ మచ్ కానీ తెలియదు అలాగే టెక్నాలజీతో పాటు the other things that go into the customer using that technology. దానికి సంబంధించి దానికి అవసరం తెలుసు కానీ అది ఏంటంటే తెలియదు. మీది ప్రైమరీ వర్క్ ఏదైనా యువర్ స్పెషలిస్ట్ టీమ్తో పాటు స్టాక్ ఫామ్ చేసుకునే దానిపై నేషనల్ పాలసీ అన్నది ఒక స్టాక్ పెట్టేదాన్ని అంటే ఉందా
Team number
అది వచ్చే కొద్ది దట్ ఈస్ ఇండిపెండెంట్.
team number 2, please have a seat and send one of your representatives here. Whoever is going to speak. Team number 5, 4, you are done. Please sit down. Team number 5.
అడిగితే చెప్తాను.
Team number 1.
మిగతా దాంట్లో హార్డ్ వర్క్ అంటే బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ చేసుకునేది.
Team number 1, please sit down. Identify a representative who is going to lead out your solution. Okay, so one quick instruction for everybody who is going to come and speak over here. Please mention your name, what you do, and then get started with whatever your solution or solution was.
Hello guys, I'm Kaushik. I'm from AU. I'm studying BTech first year CSC. So thanks for thanks for our team for jotting all the points and letting me take the initiative. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to tell you about the customer loyalty, how to improve our business or how to extend. So the points from our team was, in the first month, as it said by us, it will be so successful in the initial stage.
but we'll just drop. We'll see the decrement phase of our successful business. Really, so we need to take good care of that, and we also need to keep our expectations to the customers, and we should not let our service down. So the first thing is we need to firstly at the initial stage only we need to keep a catchy name. Like one of our members said, like the spicy venue which was in Walter Main Road, it was just boomed up in the COVID time, where we just didn't know about it, but in the COVID time, due to their name, I don't know about the dishes over there, but the spicy, you know the spicy venue, the food might be so spicy or not. I don't know, but all the foodies, all the people over there, it just creates some interest over it. And okay, sorry, yeah, sorry. And coming to the taste, we need to make our taste better by conducting like kitchen for chefs, right? Any chefs could come over here. They can they can just share over their recipes and also make new dishes. And the location which need to be over this mainly focused areas, like we need to be centralized, and the ambience and service which plays the main role. The ambience must be more specific, and the light over there should be I think I prefer the light to be so dim, so that they will focus more on the food but not all over the other things. And the moments of truth, hospitality, how how our service people just offer service to us, and the complimentary things, like at the beginning of our business, we just give offers, apply offers to the customers, provide offers, but at the ending we'll just see some downfalls in our investment, so we'll take off the offers and we need to. Okay, sorry. Thank you for bearing me 1 minute.
Thank you. All right, I think your team was the next one. Marty, Mahida? Even though I did talk about fairness, I am going to be unfair to the next 4 teams. You have 1 minute only. You don't have the time like Kaushik to give a speech.
Thank you, sir. So I'm Kushmita. So our problem solving was healthcare for all. So firstly, like which is divided into private companies and public companies. According to all the government policies should be increased. Like for Arogyasri also. Recently, I have got to know that it has been stopped in government hospitals. Second one is creating there is no policy like EMIs in the hospital. So it would be helpful for the middle class families also. EMIs would be a point for them. The cost efficiency is also very great in more in private companies. If just for an operation they would be costing more. So the third point was creating an awareness about the herbal companies, herbal products. For suppose if it's apart from the accidents and all, health issues regarding personal health issues like the gastrics or asthma, due to the pollution, these has been increasing more. So in tribal places and all, there would be no hospitals, less hospitals. So for them, we have to create an awareness regarding health products or homeopathy, where we are getting a very good result for this herbal company. So as we are Indians, we can use, there is a company also called Vestige. So we can use that product, as we are Indians, we can use the Indian products. It is very useful for, if you believe in herbal products. Yeah, so that. Thank you.
What do you do?
I'm a degree student.
Where?
like BCA Adarsh Degree College.
Thank you. Yours is the 13 that said we are done, so.
So me and my candidates choose e-commerce, and the problem is how to make it available for the rural areas. So we came up with. I'm Kavya Varsha, as you all know. So we came up with few points like how to make it available. First thing is we have to spread the awareness, like what is e-commerce and how do we use it, and we have to inculcate the cost center. You see, I took a driving test before, and I went through a consultancy. He charged me 700 more than what would have happened if I applied the driving test to buses. So, by telling all the stuff that you can do this on your own with less price, people will actually show interest in what we are trying to say. And the third one is, my teammates suggested that we kind of place a booth in the rural areas, like with all the screenplay, with your preferable language, and there people will speak to you and tell you about the e-commerce, that you can promote your what you're farming and all, and you can order from there and all, absolutely for free. And the fourth one is build the trust. So we have to tell them that this is not a scam, and we have to inculcate the trust in them that it's safe to use it, and it's very beneficial to you if you use it than doing it for. Thank you.
Thank you. We have two more, and after that.
I'm Praveen, and we are team taken TechStack. Basically, TechStack consists of as an IT front-end, back-end, and a server level. But apart from that, also the technology will be changing over and every year to year. But it's all about the service will be provided to a customer. It's all about how with the help of the technology, how we are solving the problem of the customer. It's not about what the technology we are using to solve the problem. It's all about the customer service and how the problem is solved, and also what amount of time it takes to solve. Thank you.
Okay, so you didn't really decide on any technology, is it?
I'll just take half a minute. The stack is a strong phrase that's being used, and it's one of the strongest phrases going to be in vogue in the coming 1.5 to 2 years. So, like the CoWIN app or other apps that the government has come out with, in Rajiv Chandrasekharan interviews, if you hear any of them, it's always the stack that India has made, and then it is offering to the globe for clients. So all the technologies are there all over the world, but we formed them into stacks like the UPI, Aadhaar, so independently variable ones, but when combined one on top of the other, then that becomes a strong proposition and where India made advantage. So good product, tech stack is more like a strong system where technology can be a good product. So a strong system always beats good products also. So that's the point we were discussing about. It's more of a mystery unrevealing. We were exploring different things about forming a stack.
I do understand that I've given a problem that usually takes hours, days, and sometimes weeks and months to solve, to come up with solutions in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, 7 minutes is difficult. Anyway, I guess you're the last week.
Hello, good evening. I'm Ravi. So our problem statement is remote server coverage. So to counter that, we thought of replicating like satellite-based internet or the dish TVs that available. I don't know the perfect model of how dish TVs like Sun Direct, dish TV, and D2H works, but we can use them as the medium, or we can also use satellite-based internet. We also have a company which is Starlink by Elon Musk. It is launched a long ago, so we can use the technology to communicate in remote areas. So that doesn't have any barriers. Even if you're in hills, if you're in a very isolated area, that doesn't stop you to communicate. Thank you.
So Google had a while back, almost more than a decade ago, talked about using balloons hot air balloons. They put up there, and actually not the kind of hot air balloons that we get into. They're different. So different kinds of things. So now that everybody is done, correct? Okay. So we're going to do two things very quickly. One, I am going to ask. I'm going to give an opportunity for each team to ask a question to the other people. Something about their particular problem or solution, and why, how did they consider that, how was they planning to make this work, something to that effect.
So in this case, one team will get 4 questions?
One team gets one question. You have to decide which team you want to ask, and you ask one question to that team, that's all. And all 5 teams get a question to ask of any one of the 5 that have given their solutions so far. After that's done, I have I'm going to ask 2 people that know a little bit about this. I know a lot of others know about this also, but I'm going to pick on 2 people that I'm aware of, and I'm going to ask them to share their views, because I feel that they have a lot of value to add, and rather than me talking here all the time, it will be easier to get them to share their thoughts given their past experience already or current experience as we speak. So, who wants to ask a question of another team? Okay. So since Prapun raised his hand first and also asked a question, Prapun, go ahead.
So I'll be asking a question for second team, like customer loyalty. So I'll give a kind of input here. No matter the name of the company, name of the restaurant or whatever, why don't you guys directly go with 2 things? One is quality need to be mandatory. There is no compromise in that. The second is the empathy or the hospitality, which is every person when they walk in or when they ask for some chai or whatever, the one plate of idli or anything, the first thing is smile, or the appearance, like how the conversation is happening, like try to build that concern, maybe educating the owner or the team. So why don't you guys talk in those lines? If you have elaborated some time over there, which is very mandatory, is why didn't you pick that?
Thank you. Again, please keep your answer
Hello.
and question short. It's on.
Hello.
It's on.
Yeah, your question about this loyalty, basically maintaining the good relations, etc. But I think a lot of restaurants where the customer service is extremely poor, but they are doing good, great. Okay. The other thing is, quality also. Quality. Some people are not having very good quality, but they have made a brand over a period of time on other things like location and I don't know what it is, but cost, price or something, but they're still doing good. Now, what is the in that case? What is the other solution we can get on that? That's my response.
Okay. Before we go any further, just yeah. Diwakar needs to be here, no?
Question.
No. Actually, there's a reason for doing this. Even though we are running out of time and the meeting leader is telling me stop. The reason for doing this is because I am going to follow what you're saying. You can have the conversation as soon as this meeting is over outside and go back and forth on how you're going to handle that. That's why I'm saying limit your question to less than a minute and your answer again to the point. You wanted to ask somebody.
So firstly, you are talking about e-commerce and in rural area, and firstly we don't get a good internet signal only we don't get it. How you gonna website ke paas jana, you have to go through website, internet connection. How you gonna do that?
The booths that we are planning to construct has Wi-Fi, and you're talking about signal that basically depends on the companies like Airtel and all. Cable Wi-Fi is also available. It just needs a line of wire, and the internet and all.
That's actually my question. You don't have that line.
You don't have that. We will.
You don't have that internet.
They're
You
going
don't
to
have
build
that.
No, you come to us because we offer remote cell coverage.
Yeah.
We use your service.
No, you can collaborate with us
That's
because
what
we
he-
offer
that's what
remote
he's
cell
saying.
coverage.
We're going to basically use your solution. Next one, there was.
As I said, remote cell coverage area, like it's a remote area, right? When you talk about Starlink and satellite technology, it costs a lot. I mean,
It is a single time. Complete
I mean, it is quite expensive for the rural people to afford what we are affording for our phone bills right now. So, what type of plan are you going to come up with for them?
It all depends on the need that you have. So if you really need to communicate, so you need to pay for it. I think.
Sorry.
So the idea is not to leave it about the technology for now. Any kind of an intention, especially in terms of the connection, will be checking the feasibility and we use the means of communication in any way. Now, cost cannot be applicable on the small terms. For example, a radio channel can be a smaller cost. How do you communicate? For example, there's a Tufan. How do you communicate to Paderu, some extension, a wireless communication? So the simple plan is that use the best streamlined communications with the available technology and propose the new technology because there is a need. That's it. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Did you have one? You raised your hand, right? No? Okay. Alright, so in the interest of time, because the meeting leader is getting angry and impatient by the minute, I'm going to ask, so first, Ramkumar Verma right now happens to be, he's the founder of Native Araku Coffee and he's here. They're doing business. Now he's a very, very good friend of the Chief Minister and taking selfies and photos with him. And he's won an award just about 3 days ago, 4 days ago, yesterday. So he's won another award, one of many, many awards that they're winning. And so he knows a little bit about customer loyalty and other things. I want him to spare a minute and quickly explain some of the intricacies of the difficulties that you might have to overcome.
Thank you so much, Srinivas. So, good evening, one and all. We are already into food business. We work with a lot of customers. Most interesting point with this customer loyalty. Like the way, everybody was talking about the point which you have highlighted. I don't remember your name, I'm sorry. Kaushik. Customer loyalty means the experience what you're giving to the customer from the time he reaches your space to the time he's going out. Customer loyalty means from the time he enters to your space and is going out. While other parameters also are important, like the way you're mentioning about your quality of the food, you're talking about, somebody was talking about ambience. All of them is good. Like the way, I'll give you another example. Today when I travel down to rural area, I prefer having food. I'll tell you the place. This is, I don't know, from Tuni to Annavaram, there's a place called Tedugunta. Not a hygienic place. That is very famous for Pesar Tupma. But why will I prefer going? He calls you, he knows you, he gives you that touch saying that, Sir, Bhavanara Rajgaru, ready. That 2 minutes when you say, more than hygienic, more than anything else, from the time I go there, the way he's receiving me as a customer, until the time I go back, he takes care of you so well. Sir, Raj గారికి పెసరట్లో కొంచెం నెయ్యి ఎక్కువ వేయమ్మా. You keep listening to that. Right? It looks so nice. You know, that's customer loyalty. He keeps thinking, okay, somebody's taking care of me, why not? Right? That's something which is very, very, very important in customer loyalty. Experience from the time you get in till the time you get out is very crucial. So another point which I wanted to talk about. So let me give you my background. I'm also a technology guy. I'm a tech guy. I'm an ex-IBMer. I also run a technology organization. I'm also into branding, skill development, and also an IT fraternity a little. We talked about e-commerce in rural areas. Great point. You know what is the alternative solution for it? You have to create an offline website for them and put their village on the website and tell them this is what you are. That's when you get connected so well. Your technology, when you're talking about website having so much of bandwidth onto it and you keep telling that I'm going to a rural area, I'll never get connectivity, that's not the solution at all. Because we worked with rural area on our healthcare product. We went to tribal rural area to see how connectivity makes a lot of difference. We've seen all these challenges. It will never fly. Because bandwidth never gets, we will never be able to get it through bandwidth where we want our message or our website to be shown to the end user. Right? That's one thing for you. You're talking about remote cell coverage. I worked with Airtel for about 6 years. There was a solution, like the way Srinivas was highlighting. We talked about Araku Valley, Ananthagiri, Paderu, and all of them, right? So there was a solution. I don't know, before, I think when we started our cell phone services, if we want to travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore, we go to another state, and we used to get roaming as a charge, right? That solution is being bypassed by Reliance being the monopoly. And if government really or telecom government really gets a solution out of it, it can actually fluctuate. My phone, I'm an Airtel subscriber, but I'm going to Araku's region and there is Reliance available. It can actually move to Airtel and start giving services. But there are challenges available in terms of that technology from the tri-foot side. So these are 2 points which I wanted to speak about, and thank you so much, Srinivas. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Sriram, come and talk about rural, the two things that, especially the rural e-commerce, I think you have something to add over there.
I have very drastic ideas on that, so much to.
Come, I'll add on something.
Good. Introduce చేస్తాను.
Hi, Sriram here. I primarily work in rural areas and some bit of tribal areas. The point I have for e-commerce, right, is when people say there is fortune at the bottom of the pyramid, correct? You've heard of this expression. That why is that we cannot sell toothpaste to a farmer? How do you get them to increase consumption? But have we ever thought about what is the amount of money that a farmer or people in a village earn as opposed to the amount they are spending? There's something called the cyclic economy. So the research that we found out was for every family, to a large extent, without taking care of their medical emergencies, talking about any educational expenses of the children, they are in debt by 2 lakhs every year. So all what we are thinking here is so different what is in the village. Okay, we are in a serious debt trap. Unless and until we do something back, how do we create, what Charlie was talking about, products, right? There has to be some amount of money going back into the villages. The healthcare system, health for all, my friend was talking about, why is it so expensive? Why have you made it so expensive? You're selling, tooth and nail to get yourself treated. Why are we not able to bring down the prices to some affordable cost? We need to, as people in the cities, sorry for being very leftist, but this is the truth, we are very privileged. We have so many amenities that we take it for granted, but we have to remember that we are running on the backs of people in the villages.
we need to give back to the society. We need to do something back wherein we create some wealth at the village level. So with all our, whatever we're talking about here, all this work, provided there is some money back into it, we can. There is an opportunity. We talk about organic, right? We're talking about organic. There's something called fair trade. Why is blockchain so heavy? So nice. So you can use these technologies to tell people that, look, there is some amount going back. So use these kinds of things, or leverage the land, leverage people at the village level. At the same time, leverage technology and market and finance that is in the cities.
Yeah, So one of the challenges for e-commerce in rural areas for me happens to be my very, very, very limited knowledge of rural areas. I am that spoiled person in an urban area. Sriram knows about it from a long time. Happens to be that your accessibility in terms of there is one village and another village, and how do you travel from one village to another. And if you take Ram Kumar's, if you've ever heard Ram's example of how he's worked with farmers in the tribal areas in Etovalku coffee, he has to walk for how many kilometers? He has to walk for 8 kilometers from the road to be able to reach that village. And so one of the challenges that e-commerce, I was hoping that you're going to think about is, how do I get a product that can go up to the road, and then from the 8 kilometers onwards, if I have to buy, let's say, I don't know, a toothpaste that Sriram talked about. For one toothpaste delivery, I need somebody who walks 8 kilometers and comes back 8 kilometers. Who will do that, and how much will that be? And therefore, what is the price of the product that I'm going to give them? And is that something that they can afford based on what he said? Right? There are lots and lots of problems that are out there. One last thing that I want to ask, rather than mention here, there are lots of things that we can talk about, but so, what we want to do, what I thought of is that in any meeting where we do not have a startup pitch going on, we'd like to do this one thing, which is basically start giving out 1 or 2 problems and have people try to solve those problems on the fly. And so an exchange of ideas, meeting new people, not sitting with people that we are familiar with, but get to meet new people, and therefore move forward. Were you happy with the arrangement that was done in the last 20 minutes or 30 minutes?
Yes.
Did you got out of your seats? So if we do this, it will be fine? Okay, good. So, thank you. Oh, the chief guest is here. Now that the chief guest is here, I'm going to hand it over to Isaac, our meeting leader. Thank you for your patience. Hello.
Thank you, sir, for the introductory session. Few announcements before closing. Next Startup Starters meeting will be on 18th November. We have a monthly Ideathon and talent show event on 9th November. Our next hackathon with the theme Tribal Welfare is on the 25th and 26th of November. We will finalize the date for the series of entrepreneur workshops in Telugu and English shortly. Thank you, and I wish you a delightful weekend ahead. If you have any suggestion on how the session would have gone even better, we would really appreciate your input. Please join us for a group photo.
ఏం సార్
పేరు ఇచ్చేసి గురువు అంటే గురువు అయిపోరు. అన్నారు కాబట్టి బయట
ఓకే
వాడు ఫోన్ ఓకే చేస్తే చాలు వద్దు
రింగ్స్ నుంచి ఇయర్ రింగ్స్ దాని గురించి
ఇంత దూరం వెళ్ళిపోతే దగ్గర సగండి
దగ్గరికి వచ్చి
కాల్ రాక్కర్లేదు ముందుగా పడతారు చూడు చూడు 18లోకి వెళ్ళు
ఆపరేటివ్ కెమెరా సినిమాటోగ్రాఫర్ టాకింగ్ రెండు తీసేది నాట్ జస్ట్ వన్ క్లిక్
Thank you. Full organizing people. Okay. Sorry. There are snacks also. You have snacks.
If anybody has joined the Holocaust WhatsApp group, please make a volunteer.
పిలుస్తాను పార్టీ పెడతాను
ఓకే ఓకే మీ ఇంకో రెండో షాప్ ఉంది కదా పక్కన టేస్ట్ పీసీస్ బాగుంది అసలు అంటే